we've been getting asked about this for a while, and we got to do it because I think it's important to share the story and what we did and how we got here and all that stuff. So we're going to tell the story, and we're going to tell it the best we can, and we hope you'll be patient with us, enjoy the interaction. We're going to tackle the YouTube channel like a project, and we're going to give it all we got. So hang with us. This is the Minted Cayenne. We started 2 years ago building it from a stock 2005 Porsche Turbo, Cayenne Turbo. And I had bought the car knowing that this was the goal, but things happen, and monies are tight and family and all that stuff. So we started just by owning the car. I got familiar with it, replaced little random knick-knacky maintenance stuff, and then 4 years later is when we started really cutting into it. So I've had the car for 6 years now. I've always, with Porsches, I've had lots and lots of Porsches throughout my life. Porsche's always been a brand that was important to me, and I've always tried to buy the most car I could with the budget that I had. I spent way more than I should have on this build, or on this car originally, and then started building from there. The other thing that is important to this build for me is that I'm not a professional builder. I've done lots of builds, but it's all just a passion project. So this is not for money. This has cost us a lot of money. It's cost us a lot of time. And when I say us, it's friends, it's family, it's sacrifice all the way around. But I knew if we did something like this, we could create gravity that would bring people together. YouTube's going to take us through that whole journey. I've got lots of footage to share. I'm going to go in depth on how I did what I did. I'm sure there are better ways of doing everything I've done because it's self-taught and trial and error. And we've broken a lot of stuff. We're still broken. As we speak, we're broken. But that's part of it, is figuring it out, breaking it, fixing it, strengthening it, doing it better the next time. So that's going to be the goal of this project. This is our intro. We'll always give love to our sponsors and the people who've helped us, and all those people that aren't mentioned. You know who you are. Thank you very much for your sacrifice, for putting your family life, putting your work life off to help us get to where we are. And there's lots and lots more to come, for sure. We'll go through the build a little bit in depth, and then we'll really dive in future videos. This build started as a 2005 Porsche Cayenne Turbo soccer mom car from Fletcher Porsche in Orange County, Newport Beach. But I always had this dream growing up in San Diego. I apologize if you've heard this story before, but I would see pre-runners, I would see off-road trucks. I knew where they lived. I knew where the Baja Bugs were. I knew where all that stuff was. And so I always loved that. One of my best friends growing up, his older brother had an Ivan Stewart stadium truck poster on the wall of his bedroom. And I always thought that was so rad. And so as I got older and got more into cars, I started with the VW thing, and I did a Volkswagen Squareback and slammed it, put it on air, and went that route. But I always was drawn back to the Baja Bugs and the off-road pre-runner trucks and all that stuff. So this then became, if I was going to build something and sacrifice time and money, I wanted to build something that was just what I wanted. And I always felt like if Porsche was going to run the Baja 1000, they would run it in a built Cayenne similar to the program that Volkswagen did. I knew the car was too narrow. First, I got a wide wheel and I put that on, and then we started modeling out these fenders, which we did out of foam, like from Home Depot foam, and a file, and just kind of got it where we knew we wanted it. Then a very close friend and friend of the build and a huge contributor took that into the computer and made it right left to right. From that point, and we'll have a whole video on this, we took the mold and the model and we had it cut out of foam. So it was CNC'd out of foam, and then built molds from there. So the fenders was the first cosmetic thing I knew we needed to address. I wanted it wider. So we're about 8 inches in the front and about 14 inches in the rear per side. So you can imagine it's super wide. Custom front bumper. We wanted a good approach angle on the front with the skid plate blocking all of our oil coolers and all that stuff. So I went simple. Huge thanks to Baja Designs. They came through on the lighting package and have been super, super great to us. So we've got LP9, excuse me, up front. And we've got a cop pulling up on us. Elephant in the room, of course, the first time we tried to film a YouTube video and we got kicked out in 5 minutes by the cops, which is awesome because we're being really disruptive here. Okay, so back to where I was. We're running X-Comp Gladiators. These guys are the best. We're running a 37 by 13.5, which no one thought was possible. But with the bigger fenders, we definitely have done a lot of trimming and cutting. We've still got some rub issues. Obviously, you can see the intercooler. Everybody likes to talk about that. But yeah, overall we're clearancing them, and I think that proportionately they look right for the truck. We did custom mirrors. We built a mold for those. So those are carbon mirrors, kind of like a 935 style race mirror that hugs those right in tight. We'll talk about that more in another video. Then on the inside, we set the goal to run the Mint 400 in 2023, which we did hit that goal thanks to a lot of sacrifice from people and loved ones and family. But we had to build a cage. So everything you see on the truck, other than donations that friends have made to their shops or their machine rooms or whatever it was, everything has been built in our garage. Professional tools, of course, to the professional grade, because we were going to race it and we are racing it. So it's important that it's safe and that it keeps us taken care of. 4130 chromoly cage all throughout. We'll go in depth on that. Race seats, I did want to keep it an SUV. It's very important. So we've adapted so that there are 4 doors functioning with a back seat. It is a bump seat, thanks to Chris at UTVMA donating that seat to us so that it would fit. It's lightweight, and I think it fits perfect. We're running a Garmin system for our sat nav, and fuel cell is in the far rear. We're still trying to figure out where we're going to do the spare tire. There's content on that. We had it sliding out the back, which I love the look of it, but it took up too much real estate. S-Pod came through, so all of our electronics are run through S-Pod. Renault company, they're a Spanish brand out of Madrid, super sick clothing and apparel. So they've come through in a big way. Too many to list. So grateful for everybody. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy this journey. I hope that we can do some fun stuff with it, and very important. Not only did it take a ton of family and friends to get the project here, but behind the camera and behind this whole YouTube project, my son and my 2 adopted sons, my oldest son's best friend and my youngest son's best friend. So the 3 of them, plus me, we're going to try to put this together, along with help from wives and girlfriends and friends and everybody else. So thank you to everybody. Hope this is watchable and that it's not super cringy, but we'll tell you about this thing.